Hello, welcome to RC Video Reviews. Today we're taking a look at the P-51 Miss America Mustang from FMS. Before I get into the content, I need to let you know this video is sponsored by FMS, who sent the Mustang out for review, and they're in the middle of a 4th of July celebration for 2023. If you look in the description, you'll see links to a 4th of July sale page at FMS, and you'll find some coupon codes. I want to remind you, I'm in the middle of a 5-part series. This is one of the bonus planes. It's not in the count of 5. So we're in the middle of a 5-part series. It's going to end with a live stream, and I'll be giving away an airplane. So make sure you keep an eye on the channel. Get on that live stream, because you're going to have to be on the live stream in order to win, and see if you can win yourself a free airplane. When it comes to the assembly on the Miss America, it was very simple. Just a couple of wing bolts and a couple of pushrod connectors, and that was it. Install your radio, install your battery, and that's really all you had to do. Not much to really cover there. It just assembles about as simple as it can get. So with that out of the way, I really have no commentary on the assembly process because it's very easy. Let's just go fly this one. One last control systems check. I expect the elevator to come up, and it does. I expect the right aileron to come up, and I can't see if it's coming up or not, so I'm going to go get eyes on it. Yeah, it's coming up. Now I expect the left aileron to come up, and it does. I expect the rudder to come right, and it does. And I expect the rudder to go left, and it does. This one does have a Reflex V2 gyro. I'll be taking off without that. We'll test the gyro out once I get it up in the air. All right, here we go. Maiden flight of the P-51 Miss America by FMS. Whoa!
Oh yeah!
Whoa! Right on the power. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Okay.
That was interesting. Interesting takeoff, man. That got right on the power. And I have a lot of trim I need here. There we go. That needed a lot of left aileron trim that time. But now we're flying flat. That was instant trim to the rescue. I love that instant trim. All right, now I can dial it in just a little bit. Got a little bit too much up. There we go. All right, now I'm starting to feel better. These are low rates. I just want to get it flying straight and level on its own. There we go. That feels good. Let's do a little presentation pass of the Mustang. I need more rudder. I'm so used to flying 3D planes right now. I'm expecting all the rudder in the world, and I don't have it. Let's go into high rates, and I'll try it again.
It is very quiet.
It is very quiet.
Yeah, the prop and all that is all very balanced from factory. That's nice.
Yeah. There we go, a little more authority, that helped. I just needed more rudder. Let's do a couple of high-speed passes first, and then I want to do some maneuvers. A little bit of climb on power. A couple of different ways to deal with that. You can deal with it with CG, you can deal with it with trim. Sometimes it's the motor alignment. These are all things that you just have to work on as you tune a plane up and get it ready to fly. But out of the box, I'd say that wasn't terrible. I'd rather see it climb a little than the other on a high-speed pass. Let's try that again. Yeah, that's a fast mover, boys. I can tell you that. It moves quick. Yeah. Yeah, this plane, I could get into this plane because it's got all the authority that you need. It's got all the power that you need. Oh, yeah. Real easy maneuvering on this one. Yeah, I could definitely get into this plane, and I'll tell you during the first look, they mentioned that this one is an expert level plane, and I see why, because it does move, and when you have your throws up a little bit, it gets a little sensitive at speed. So keep that in mind. But man, it's got all the power. If you want an athletic Mustang, this is the one for sure. Man, that thing scoots.
I can tell you it does, because I'm having a little trouble tracking it when you're going fast. More than the 3D planes is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it moves.
Yeah, this thing scoots for sure. It's been a while since I've flown a Warbird, and I got to tell you, man, I forgot about some of their behaviors. I mean, I really did. The 3D planes are just a different experience altogether. Warbirds have different mannerisms. Beautiful looking plane. All right, let's turn the stabilizer on and see what happens. First we'll do the what they call optimize mode, which is just uncommanded movement. So that's on now. Let's just see how it does on a pass down the runway. Wind is coming from my right, so we're heading into it right now. All right, I'm gonna goose it. I don't see any oscillations, that's good. So that passes my test in terms of gain. I don't see any problems there. Now I'm gonna try the auto level mode. Again, I like altitude for these before I kick them on, just in case the plane does something I don't expect, or the gyro does something I don't expect. All right, the gyro's doing a pretty good job on auto level mode. I'm just gonna add a little power and I'm gonna give it a full left turn. That is full left sticks right there. And I would say that that turn degree is probably about 20. It's not much. That's a full left-hand turn. All right, I'm gonna bring the stabilizer back off and go into just wind rejection mode, or optimize mode in FMS lingo. All right, I've got two last things I wanna do. I wanna do a yaw test and a stall test. First, we'll do the stall test. There's power off. And a very easy brake on the stall, no problems there. Next, we'll do a yaw test. So we'll just climb straight up, and I do this just to make sure my airframe is straight. So there's a straight up climb, power comes off, and that was really close to straight. Really close.
You did have a little bit of wind from the right.
Yeah,
though.
I did have a little bit of wind. Let's do it into the wind this time.
There you go.
30 seconds.
Make sure the stabilizer's off too. That's off. All right, so here's the yaw test. Power comes off. Yeah, I'd say that's close enough to straight down. Maybe one click of left is all it needs.
Agree.
All right, that's the maiden. Let's get it on the ground. I'm gonna practice approaches. Been a while since I landed a warbird, so wish me luck. We'll see how I do.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
A little bit of rudder to bring her around.
Timer 1 elapsed.
A little bit of power, keep it on the glide slope. And in the grass. But it's on the ground and undamaged. That was mid rates on rudder. I need more rudder. That's one thing I immediately notice. I want more rudder. So there's the maiden flight of the Miss America P-51 by FMS. Here we go with the second flight of the P-51 Miss America. I learned some lessons from the first one, man. A little less power on takeoff until you're in the air. It doesn't need much. All right, here we go. Also mid rates. I like those a little better for ground handling, I think.
Very nice. Much better.
Hard turn to the port, and that was with rudder. So that was actually with rudder. I'm gonna bring the gear up this time. I left them down last time, but there's the gear. Yeah, beautiful. And I'm gonna go ahead and touch the wind rejection, leave that on. I see the wings rocking a little bit, so we'll let the gyro handle that. Yeah, that is just beautiful. Beautiful flyer. Traditional, typical Mustang. Very, very nice.
Very beautiful.
Yeah. That cooks, man. One of the guys said it flies with a 6S battery. That's also apparently an option. If you've flown this with 6S, leave a note in the comments. Let me know how it goes. I personally would like to measure that on a watt meter before I tried, but I can tell you 6S, man, that would be a handful on this plane for sure. Because this is 4S and it's a screamer. Beautiful tracking in a loop too, just absolutely fantastic. I'm gonna do that a little farther out to help Dave, see if he can track it a little better farther away. All right, here we go, another loop.
5 minutes.
Oh, just perfect. Absolutely perfect, almost like a pattern plane.
Yeah, it did do it round.
Yeah, that was
Very
really
nice.
nice.
Yeah, man, what a great flying airplane. That airplane will make anybody look good.
Even me, especially after the F-16, right?
No, it does fly really nice.
It does.
Yeah. I'm not seeing any shakiness and unstable. I'm not flying it, but I can see it. I've done it long enough to where you can kind of just look at the airplane and see what's going on. Is this stabilizer on or off?
Yeah, this has got the stabilizer in what they call optimized mode, which is uncommanded. It's not auto level.
Okay.
This just deals with uncommanded movements.
What you call wind rejection.
What I call wind rejection. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
4 minutes.
Yeah, beautiful. Let's do a hammerhead. Come on, rudder. Come on, come on, come on. There it went. Barely. More rudder. I think I said that on the first flight. I need more rudder on this one. So I get this on the ground. I will definitely take a look at the rudder linkage and see if I can give myself just a little more authority on the rudder. I've got the input maxed out, so the radio's doing the best it can, but I need more. All right, one more flyby and we'll put this one on the ground. See if I can land it. I'll try and go nice and slow down the runway and low. Look at that. Beautiful. Man, I love Mustangs. I always have.
Yep, they look beautiful. And they nailed it with this one. The Miss America, the colors and everything is just gorgeous. And it's a Mustang.
Yep. This is a win-win, and it's fast. All right, let's do a flyby with the gear to verify it's down. I can see it. There we go, gear's down and locked. All right, we'll set up forward and approach and get it on the ground. There
That was
we
good,
go.
that was fine. You know, second landing.
Yeah, still need a little work, but I'm getting it.
Absolutely.
That is a beautiful airplane. I like this plane quite a bit.
Yep, me too.
This one will be staying in the fleet. I'll bring this one out to mess around with because it's fun. All right, let's get it over on the table and wrap it up. First thing I want to do is thank FMS for sending this plane out for review. I like the airplane a lot. I will caveat and tell you, you need to be intermediate or higher. And the only reason I say that is because it's hot. It's a fast mover. It's got a lot of authority. I didn't even use the flaps. I forgot about the flaps. You don't need them, but that's my point. If I thought I needed them, then I would have remembered them, but
Yep.
I didn't need them. And a lot of times on these types of planes, you don't.
Well, flaps will make it twitchier,
Yeah.
too, also. So
A little dirty airflow,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
and it makes the controls a little more soggy.
yeah, you
But-
want to learn the airplane first, maybe before you start using flaps.
But it does look scale.
Oh,
so that's
absolutely.
cool. Anyway, I can't say enough about the color scheme. One thing I'm really impressed with is the motor power. I think this one's got all the power on the motor. If that motor doesn't have enough power for you, you probably need to start looking at turbine jets or something, because that one's got a lot of power. And in the sky, it just looks fantastic. I didn't really pick out any bad characteristics. Did you, Dave? I didn't see anything other than my own lack of rudder. I need a little more rudder, but other than that, I didn't see anything.
Nothing in flight. On takeoff, yeah, be careful with the throttle because you'll tip it over.
Yes.
And the other thing is this plane needs some speed, forward speed, and be very aware of the throttle because it's got a big prop.
Yeah.
And that little left turn tendency that you had could have been because of that big prop. That torque was eating it up a little bit on low speed,
So
maybe.
Dave brought up a good point, and I'll admit, I'm going to admit to my own failing here. On the 3D planes, you have so much authority, you can make them go in a straight line just as perfect as you want. On these planes with the smaller controls, you lose some of that authority, so you have to do more of flying or airmanship on the plane.
Exactly.
And what Dave's talking about, I was thinking about it on that second takeoff. What I really need to do, you really need to treat this one like a normal,
Like a real airplane.
like a real airplane.
Yeah.
You got to get that tail wheel off. You got to steer with your rudder, let it gain some speed, and then lift up.
And lay a little bit on the right rudder as you're
Yes.
coming up and climbing to counteract all that. It is a P-51 with a big, massive prop in the front.
Yep.
So it's gonna do the whole P factor and all that stuff is gonna work. It's gonna be very effective in this airplane.
Yep.
So yeah.
So
absolutely.
when you guys saw that pull to the left and when you saw the wing dip a little bit on takeoff, that was all me because I didn't have enough speed on the plane in order to let the wings do their job, and I didn't manage well enough with the rudder, but my rudder was pegged all the way over. So I just need to give myself a little more.
It's a matter of technique.
Yes.
You got to learn the plane
Yep.
and then develop your technique. After 4 or 5 takeoffs, you'll be taking off nice and straight,
Yep.
the way it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, you know, I'm breaking stride here a little bit because I've been doing a lot with the 3D stuff.
Oh,
And they
yeah.
are very different animals.
They're the
altogether.
easiest planes to fly,
They
3D
are.
and pattern planes.
Yeah,
the
they are.
easiest.
Because you got massive control surfaces and they lift off the ground with no effort at all.
They do what you tell them to do, exactly, without arguing.
Yep. Well, that's why you had to be a professional to fly these warbirds
That's right.
back in the day.
That's right.
All right, FMS, thanks a lot for sending the Mustang out for review. Definitely recommend on that one if you've got some stick skills. Would not recommend that if you're a beginner pilot. That one's not for you. But if you got some stick skills, you want a fast mover, it's plenty athletic, plenty of control authority, plenty of motor, plenty of flight time. Everything about the plane is good. You just got to learn a little technique to handle a warbird.
This does represent the 4th of July. Look at
does,
the
doesn't it?
colors on this thing. Oh my golly. You guys have a great 4th of July, and we'll see you next time.